We know that all children are unique, and we invite you to be curious about the children and young people we're going to meet. A wonderful thing about working with children and young people is the potential for change, and we can all have a role in supporting them as they grow and develop.
This is Lily. She's a 4-year-old in my group. Lily's irritable and cries at the smallest thing. She's also clingy and attention-seeking. I wonder if she's been a bit spoiled.
This is Aidan. He's a 9-year-old in my primary class. Aidan's a very sensitive boy. He struggles to concentrate, doesn't like group work, and often complains of feeling ill, though there never seems to be any obvious cause. We think he might have communication difficulties, though his parents say not.
This is Logan, one of the teenagers at our youth club. He's 16, but sometimes acts like he's 12. He's confrontational, and we often find him with alcohol or drugs when he knows it's against the rules. He seems to have behavioural problems.
It can be hard sometimes to understand why children and young people behave the way they do. Something that is often misunderstood is the impact of trauma. Traumatic events are more common than you may think, and we may not know if or what trauma has occurred. There are different kinds of trauma, and they can affect children and young people in different ways. Trauma can be caused by a single event, like an accident or assault. There is also prolonged and repetitive adversity in trauma, like childhood physical, sexual and emotional abuse, neglect, family violence, community violence and war. The impact of this is known as complex developmental trauma. This kind of trauma often occurs in relationships that should be caregiving. This can mean children and young people learn that nobody can be trusted, making it difficult for them to make and keep safe and supportive relationships. Some responses to trauma are upsetting memories from a traumatic experience that persist and affect day-to-day life. Or a heightened alertness, which can be seen as reacting with a fear response of fight, flight, or freeze. Evidence shows that adversity and trauma at a young age can cause harmful levels of stress, which can impact development. This can result in long-term effects on learning, behaviour and health. For example, delays in language development or difficulty paying attention can mean a young person's school performance suffers.
What we have come to realise is that children and young people affected by trauma develop a range of coping mechanisms to help them survive. This may look like naughty or strange behaviour. It can be helpful to think that all behaviour is a way of communicating. What you're seeing could be the child's fight, flight or freeze response to perceived trauma. Even if they're in a safe place now, a traumatised child is continually alert to danger, so things that seem small and everyday to us can be overwhelming to them. A preschool child like Lily is too young to make sense of or communicate her feelings verbally. So instead, you might see exaggerated physical, emotional or sensory responses, like tantrums, excessive crying, or being easily startled. Children Lily's age can also seem very demanding and clingy because they feel keeping an adult close can help protect them from danger, even if an adult has been the source of danger. Play that involves trauma can be their way of helping them to make sense of their experiences.
Primary school children like Aidan can also find it difficult to express how they feel. They can often seem sad and fearful about their own and other people's safety.
Sometimes I feel hot and shaky, and it feels like something bad is going to happen again.
They can be preoccupied with what has happened and find it difficult to concentrate. They may feel overwhelmed by things like noise, smells and touch, or experience headaches and stomach aches with no obvious cause.
I don't feel well.
Adolescents like Logan can find it difficult to manage their emotions and can feel self-conscious about this. They can worry about being vulnerable and hide how they're feeling.
I'm fine. Well, I can be fine for a while, and suddenly I'm not. Sometimes I get into a rage and I just smash stuff.
They can find it hard to manage friendships and feel tremendous shame and guilt. They can also be aggressive and confrontational.
Can't mess with me. Just try.
And they can engage in risky or harmful behaviours as a way of managing their difficult feelings.
Everyone who works with children and young people has a role to play in recognising the impact of trauma and helping to support a child or young person's natural strengths and recovery. Relationships really matter. Evidence suggests that a supportive relationship with one good adult is incredibly important. This is a safe, dependable and responsive adult who provides support to the child or young person. It's the opposite of their traumatic relationships when their needs were ignored. Supportive relationships like this have been shown to have a significant effect in helping buffer children and young people against the impacts of trauma. That one good adult might be a family member, a teacher, a youth worker, or you. You can help children and young people cope and recover from the effects of trauma by going at the child's pace and providing a different, healthy experience of relationships. Relationships where children and young people are offered safety rather than threat, choice rather than control, collaboration rather than coercion, and trust rather than betrayal. It's also important to empower young people by involving them as much as possible in what's happening and encouraging their unique qualities, skills and talents to increase their resilience. These are the principles of a way of working we call trauma-informed practice. Can you think about your own setting and how trauma-informed principles could be used?
Promoting stability, safety and consistency in the child's environment is key. Routines and predictability are important and can help young people contain their distress. So in a preschool setting, this might mean making sure Lily is picked up at the right time and reassuring her that mum is on the way.
Don't worry, your mum will be here soon.
Supportive adults play a vital role in helping young people manage their emotions and behaviours. It's often referred to as the 3 R's, because it's about helping young people regulate their feelings, relating to them, and helping them reason why they may feel the way they do, or what can be done to help in each situation. In a primary setting, this might mean helping Aidan to become more calm, ensuring that you understand how he feels. I'm here. I understand it can sometimes be hard for you to focus, Aidan. Let's find some ways that can help.
We can help the young person make sense of why they feel the way they do, if they feel comfortable doing that with us.
Sometimes it just hits me out of nowhere. I don't know what's been happening, and I just feel out of control.
Thanks for sharing that with me, Logan. That must be really difficult for you. I wonder if what you've been through can make it hard for you to manage your feelings. Let's think together about what could help. Or make a referral for professional support, where he can discuss the impact of his traumatic experiences. Parents and caregivers are central in children's lives. Sometimes more than one generation of a family can be affected by trauma, so the child's parents or caregivers may need support too.
We also may have experienced or witnessed trauma, so it's important to take care of ourselves and each other. Make sure you have a support network and think about who else can help. Even when adopting trauma-informed principles, it can take time to see changes, but you are sowing seeds that will help as children and young people grow and develop. It's helpful to use established review procedures. These can be enhanced using trauma-informed principles. And information shared can help to monitor their progress in and across services, whilst being sensitive about who needs to know what. It's also important to remember that if a child discloses abuse, to be able to listen to them and to use local child protection procedures. The good news is that change is possible. Children and young people are resilient and adaptable. Relationships and connections are key. What are things that you can take into your workplace to be more trauma-informed? Your role in providing a supportive relationship is vital in this and can help restore and build a young person's well-being and life chances.